Hello everyone, it's Miss Courtney. Happy Earth Day! So today, for STEM Sprouts, we will be celebrating Earth Day. And I'm going to run you through a little bit of the history behind Earth Day, why we celebrate it, and then we are going to be doing an Earth Day craft. We will also be posting a free scavenger hunt that you guys can use to go out in your backyard or go out just outside your house for a little bit to explore the bits of nature that might be out right now since it's spring. So if you come along with me, I'll introduce you to a little bit about Earth Day. Earth Day is celebrated every year on April 22nd. It was originally started April 22nd of 1970, which means that this year will be the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. In the time leading up to Earth Day, Americans were consuming or using large amounts of gas through cars and buses and things like that were inefficient. They weren't running as well as they should have been. So they would let out smoke and debris that was really bad for our Earth. Industries also had the same problem. And they had little to no fear of the consequences because we weren't being as conscious about it as we should have been. Air pollution was commonly accepted as a good thing. It showed that we were making progress, but progress shouldn't have been hurting our environment in such an obvious way. A senator from Wisconsin named Gaylord Nelson had been concerned about the environment in the United States during this time, and in January of 1969, he and many others witnessed a massive oil spill in California that inspired him to bring consciousness to the public about air and water pollution. His idea about Earth Day sparked a national media attention across the country. Earth Day inspired 20 million Americans at the time, which was 10% of the population of the United States, to take to the streets, parks, and auditoriums to demonstrate against the impacts of 150 years of industrial evolution and development, which had become a serious human health impact as well. All of the air and water that was getting polluted was going into people's bodies and making them sick and making it hard to work. And we needed a change. Because of the impact that the first Earth Day had, it ended up leading to the creation of the United States Environmental Protection Agency, or the EPA, which helps us today create environmental laws, and including the Environmental Education Act and Health and Safety Act and Clean Air Act, which keep us safe and healthy. Even though progress is still being made, we are not getting as sick because of air pollution from companies. So we celebrate Earth Day now as a reminder for how far that we've come, and to remind us that we have an impact on our Earth. Every year, people recycle millions of pounds of plastic and paper, which is amazing for our Earth. So these things can be broken down and reused instead of going into landfills where they may never break down. Things like plastic might never break down in our environment, but they can be recycled into other things. I know there are many different companies like TerraCycle that take chip bags and they will make them into pencil holders or into bags or jackets. And I've seen people knit and crochet with plastic bags that they can use as picnic blankets or something like that. So most things can be recycled or reused, and it's also important to remember that we can also reduce our waste. There are people nowadays that live a zero waste lifestyle. They try not to get plastic bags or food in packaging so that their impact on the earth is a lot less than what an average person might use. So Earth Day is a really good reminder to us that we can make an impact by helping our earth and recycling and using less electricity and less water and being a good citizen and picking up trash, just so that we can continue to use our environment to make us happy and do fun things like go fishing or being outside in a park without the earth suffering because of it. Hello! For this lesson, you will need some scissors, some newspaper, markers, and staples. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to take one piece of newspaper. So I'll unfold mine. Take one piece of newspaper and let it fold back in the floor. So you will have about 4 pieces stacked on top of each other, which is what we kind of want. And then we are going to take one of our markers. I'm going to use brown, and we are going to trace out the shape of a tree. So your tree doesn't have to be perfect. All trees are very different. You can make your tree skinnier, you can make your tree fatter. I'm going to make mine kind of medium. You're not going to see it super well, but there is my tree. So I have my tree on there, and I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to cut out that tree. So you're going to cut through all 4 layers. And you just want to do your best on cutting it out. You might not you might not follow the lines very well, and that's okay. I'm kind of freehanding mine a little bit because I want it to be a little bit bigger. I cut out my tree. So you should have about 4 layers of paper. But you can pick whatever 2 are your favorite, and you're going to set the other ones aside. So here are my 2 favorite trees. They kind of line up pretty well together. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up stuffing these and making them nice and puffy. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a staple right at the top. Let's see. And a staple at the bottom for now, just to keep the 2 pieces together. I have a staple here at the bottom. I don't know how well you can see that. And there's a staple at the top as well. Just to keep our papers together. And then we are going to color our tree in. So I'm going to use brown for the trunk of the tree, which is all the wooden part of the tree. And you can draw in some branches if you want to. I don't know, I don't think mine's going to have branches. I'm just going to do a trunk. And then I'm going to do all the leaves at the top. You can color one side, you can color both sides, you can add stickers or glitter or anything else that you want to add to yours as well. But I'm just going to do some quick scribbles just to get this colored in. So we are using recycled newspaper today because paper is one of the most recycled things, and it's one of the things that we can reuse the most. So we can use newspaper for many different things. We can use them for art projects like this. We can use them for paper mache. We can always use paper to stuff boxes if we're going to send something in the mail. So here is my tree so far. I scribbled it in real fast, but I have the green for the leaves and then the brown for the wood and the bark and the trunk. Okay, so now we have it where our tree really isn't, it's not full of anything, it's not really put together very well. So we're going to use staples, and we're going to staple along one side of this tree. As many staples as you can get in there. Because we're going to fill this up so we don't want the stuffing to fall out. Okay, so I have one side of my tree stapled so it's all stuck together, and it opens up kind of like this, kind of like a little boat. You can add another staple on the edge of the bottom of your other side because we're going to stuff this full and we don't want our filling to fall out. And for our filling, we are just going to use some scraps of newspaper. So this is a mostly newspaper project. And I'm going to take it in my hands and just crumple it up, and then I'm going to stuff it inside of my tree. And you can stuff it with more paper, less paper, that is all up to you. I'm just going to do a few pieces real quick to make our tree nice and puffy. And if you don't have newspaper, you can use other recycled papers. We're just going to encourage you to use something that's recycled and not go out and buy new paper for this project. And then as it gets puffier and you think it's puffy enough, you can go ahead and staple some of the edges together. So my trunk is pretty puffy, so I'm going to start closing it up a little bit. I think this is pretty good. And try and line the edges up as best as I can. When you add some paper in here, they might not line up as easily as they did before. And there is my puffy tree. It got quite a bit bigger when we added in the newspaper. So this is a fun project that you can do at home, and it's really easy, and it doesn't require a lot of different things. So you can hang this as a decoration for Earth Day if you want to. Otherwise you can keep it up all year round as well. But we hope you enjoyed this lesson, and we hope to see you guys again soon. If you like this lesson, please like the post or the video, and let us know what you thought of it. If you make the trees, you can post it down below as well in the comments. And yeah, give us any feedback about these videos if there's anything you really want us to put out there, like any lessons that we've done at the museum before. Let us know as well. We're happy to do some different things as the weeks go on. So we hope to see you guys again soon. Bye!